Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true.
On Friday, January 6, 2023, Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson toured section of Kingston Eastern Division, where he visited several communities including Cane River and Bobo Hill. He used the opportunity to engage citizens and members of the JCF working in this space.
I've been touring the Bull Bay area generally. At the back end of last year, 2022, we saw a flare-up in violence in the area. It is some old disputes that arose again. We have since intervened. We have placed additional resources. That's over in the Taylor land and up Cane River side. And this is one of the other communities in the Bull Bay policing area. And this is the Bobo Shanti community, and it's really a pleasure to engage them. They have their this is actually the eve of the Black Christmas, so tomorrow is Black Christmas, and so they are preparing for a large celebration that starts tomorrow and runs until the 12th. So we got a chance to speak with some of the elders and interact, and it's a great thing.
Walkthrough of Cane River.
Well, as I said, there were some incidents there. The investigations are progressing apace, so hopefully we'll end up with some arrests pretty soon in that regard. We have good intelligence. The community work that the Superintendent Tommy Lee Chambers here, who's in charge of Kingston East, her community relations largely allows her to know what's going on. And I have ACP Graham here as well with me, who's in charge of larger Kingston and parts of St. Andrew, Area 4, Police Area 4. So the team is out today and just getting, I like to get a sense of what is going on the ground. And that way I can, apportion assets that probably are not in the space, or just get a sense. When I speak about something, I like to have first-hand knowledge of it, and this has given me first-hand knowledge, and also to interact with all of the communities who we police. It allows you to give that message that that violence is not the way. I mean, we're seeing too many killings over nothing, really over nothing, $100 and Yam Hill and all of that. That's not something for people to die over. And sometimes it's just anger playing out, an inability to resolve difficulties and challenges without resorting to violence. So that accounts for too many of our people dying. And then, of course, you have those people who are gunmen and hitmen who really, for selfish reasons, really for money and profit, they find it okay to kill Jamaican citizens. And so we've been focusing on them. We have had a number of them in custody now, but there are still, sometimes they order other people to do their dirty work. And these disputes that end up in violence, the intervention of the police is critical to trying to get to the resolution to the dispute, because these family disputes go on and on. Become generational in nature, and as long as we do that, as long as it keeps going, then we'll keep this level of violence. And I believe that if we can deal with the dispute, the community, that can bring the numbers down as well. The idea, we can't investigate, we don't have the capacity to investigate huge numbers of homicides and shootings. So we have to be very precise in who we go after, the solvability of a case, but more importantly, we have to engage to just reduce the numbers. We have to have less incidents going forward. And so a lot of our work as a police force is to get less incidents of it, preventative work. And then afterwards, what we have found, because of our increased intelligence, our increased interaction, our increased community policing, our hard policing can be more directed, more precise, and go after the bad guys.
Jamaica Constabulary Force.
Trauma hits family of slain cookshop operator PNP supporter. December will no longer present a month of celebration as it once did for the family of 78-year-old Lesmer Williams. Williams was the operator of a cook shop and manager of the car park in downtown Montego Bay, was shot in the head by a gunman in broad daylight on December 29. He was later pronounced dead at the Conner Regional Hospital. According to the deceased man's son Winston, the shooting death of his father has traumatized the family, especially his older sister who was celebrating her birthday. He told reporters that their father, whom he described as a God-fearing man and a proud supporter of the People's National Party (PNP), did not deserve to die in that manner. This has been more than rough. It happened on his eldest daughter's birthday, so that is going to be a lifetime reminder, and no one in the family was looking for or expecting it. We had expected him to die of old age, not to be taken out like that, Winston told reporters. Everyone's been trying to cope, but some days we cry about it. We all feel like we have a hole in our heart because everyone's broken by this, he added. Further, he explained that they too celebrated their birthday in December, Winston fondly reminiscing on the last moment he shared with his father. He said that he flew to Jamaica for his father's 78th birthday on December 11. His father's excitement, having realized that he had made the trip, had been constantly replaying in his mind, Winston told reporters. I found out from him where he would be for his birthday, which was church, and I told him that the best place to be. So when I went down, I just went straight to the church and I sat in the row behind him. Then I touched him on the shoulder. When he looked around and he saw that it was me, he took a second look and made sure that he wasn't dreaming, and then he was like, wait, what you do here? Then he was like, whoa, you tricked me, and he hugged me, so I had to slump forward, Winston said. He continued, he held me in that position for about 2 hours, and as uncomfortable as it was, I just said that I am not even going to move because I could see that he was happy, and that's all that mattered. I spent some time with him, and when I was leaving, he hugged me just the same. When his arm came around me, it was like he didn't even want to let go, and I had no idea that it would have been the last time that I'll be hugged by him, he added, his voice filled with grief. Noting that the elderly man shared loving relationships with his 3 children, Winston said that their family had developed routines to catch up on each other on the weekends, as both he and his older sister have been living overseas. This was something his father looked forward to, as they got the chance to spend quality time while being physically away, Winston told reporters. It got to the point where he dedicated Saturdays to calling my sister and Sundays to calling me. He really enjoyed our time on Sundays because we would talk about work, and we would also talk about the Bible and church. We also sang together and we would pray. He used to tell me that he really appreciated the fact that we could just sit down and just talk about God and the Bible, said Winston. The fond memories shared with his father, however, are now clouded by the gruesome December 29 murder. Winston said that nothing could have prepared him for the heartbreaking call he received from Jamaica. I was at home prepping for work, and my little sister, that's in Jamaica, called me to see she heard that Pops got shot at the shop, and she hasn't confirmed it yet. She said she was calling someone, and she was going down there to see, said Winston. Frightened by the news, Winston said he immediately made contact with an associate who was working in the car park. He said that when he learned of his father had succumbed to his injuries, I remember just falling to my knees bawling, and I believe for the 3rd day, I couldn't talk about him without breaking down, he told reporters. As for his older sister, whose father was tragically taken away on her birthday, Winston said she is coping as best as she can. We do have each other to lean on, and that's the most that there is. We are just trying to be there for each other and encourage each other and strengthen each other because even now, she hasn't opened one of her birthday presents, he said.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share,